Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Ruff, and man, there's a lot happening in the news in both Canada and the United States. Basically, across the world, everything is getting affected. Now, we want to cover what's in the news, try to decipher what is true and what isn't so true, because everyone's trying to stretch it, and what you can do about it to help save your family from some economic pains. All right, let's get into some of the stories that came out today. So, if we jump straight away into it, sorry guys, I need my glasses now. I I can't see very well. We're going to be picking up our first story. Our first story of the day: U.S. rents hit a record high for 17 months in a row. Now, we always talk about the United States and Canada. Canada and the United States are like cousins; they're attached at the hip. Everything that Canada makes, almost all of it, goes to the United States, and the United States is the world power. For heaven's sakes, I can see it from my house. So we got to make sure that we are talking about the world reserve currency when we're talking about this stuff. Now, let's look at what's happening in the States. This same stuff, by the way, is happening in Canada, just so that you know. Record highs for rents. It is making it hard for everybody to survive. Now, what does it say here? It will say that the national median rent hit a record high of 1879 in the month of July. That's not so that's not the big news. It's up 12.3% from 1 year ago. 12.3% in 1 year. So, has your incomes gone up 30%? Is my question. Has your incomes gone up 12%? Have they? What has gone up? That's my question. Is if your incomes haven't gone up 12%, how on earth are you going to afford all of this stuff? That's what I want to know. All right. So, secondly, if we look at the year over year increase from January to now, if we do that, it's 17%. The rents have gone up 17 in 1 year, January to January. So they're all celebrating that rents are only going up 12%, but nobody is getting a 12% raise. All right. So, where is the majority of all of the rent increases happening? They're happening in the south of the United States or the northeast. So, the south, really understandable. Everyone's going to Florida, right? Everyone likes Florida. It's warm, no taxes. Miami, can you understand this? Rents are up 26.2%. 26.2% in 1 year. How do people afford this? Because you're not getting any extra income. So where do people just come up with extra money? In Toronto today, the average mortgage payment is up $1,073. Where do people just come up with an extra 1,000 every month from now on? And this is just starting. I don't get it. All right, so Miami is up 26.2%. It's a shock. Miami was followed by New York, Boston, Chicago, and Orlando. So Miami, no taxes, warm. Everyone understands that. But New York, Boston, Chicago. Whew. Maybe Boston because it's a university town, but I cannot believe it. Do you know that New York now, the average rent is $5,100, which blows my mind. Can't even believe it. All right. So this article was on CNN. It also says that as the people in the cities are trying to run to more affordable places, what about the suburbia? It's up 12.8% in 1 year. Now, when they are going to go poll some people on the same article, CNN, it mentions 72% of landlords reported plans to raise rents in the next year to keep those screws on it. So, where are we in that? I mean, it must be the landlord's fault, right? Well, let's look at here. When asked why they plan on raising rents, landlords are citing higher property management expenses, higher taxes, higher maintenance, and more upkeep and more expensive utilities. Now, I can tell you because we work on both sides. We are buying units for investors and then we sublet it out, and we can see that the prices are going up and the strain it's putting on people. So in Canada, you normally have to make 36 times your rent a year. So let's just try to figure that out. If you had a rent at $2,000 a year, what is it times 36? is that 72,000? So you'd have to make 72,000. In New York, for example, you need to make 40 times the rent. So if you made 2,000 rent, you'd have to make $80,000 in order to qualify. But we're seeing people get squished really, really badly. But for myself, even me being a landlord or knowing other landlords, I see that my property management fees are going up. My taxes have gone way up. My utilities have gone way up. And as all of these expenses are getting piled on the landlord, you have to pass it along. You can't just operate at a loss. And so everyone is feeling the pinch, everybody. All right, so let's go in. I got another couple stories that I wanted to cover today, you guys, but thanks for coming on. Ontario now in Canada, home prices will fall by 24% by the end of next year. Now, this is Desjardins. Now, remember, they are looking across the country because obviously they're not just looking at where I am in Toronto. It says home sales have fallen off a cliff in Ontario and prices are tumbling down after them. Far, because in Toronto, it depends on where you are. A lot of cities, Mississauga, Brampton, all over the place, down 35, 40%, a lot. This can bankrupt a lot of people. Now, they're saying as a national average, and this article comes from the Daily Hive, the national average is going to be down 18% and 24% by the end of next year. It's way down farther than that in Toronto. It says that, in quote, quickly deteriorating market conditions, unquote. And it says Desjardins still expects Ontario home prices to the end of 2023 to be 15% higher than where they were at the start of pandemic. So yes, we've had massive rises in prices, right? But it hasn't come back to where it was when the pandemic started. So it went up and down, but you're still up if you've owned a home before that. Where you could be in trouble is if you bought a home during the pandemic. If you did during the last 2020, 2021, you could be in trouble by being upside down with your equity. So that's a little bit disconcerting. All right, and let's go to this next article. Oh, this is important. Let me just go back to the Daily Hive. The Bank of Canada is expected to raise interest rates further by the year end, bringing the key rate from 2.5 to 3.25. Please understand what that means. From 2.5 to 3.25 means how much interest rate hike? It's 0.75%. 0.75%, 0.75 will drop the value of your home 7.5% from where it is today. Remember, there's a rule for every 1% the interest rate goes up, 10% comes off the price of your home, 10% off the affordability. So we have to watch for that because this is going to be big news coming up in the future. All right, so let's go to the next article. Blog.to. This one kind of shocked me. As long as they've been taking a track of this, the region just witnessed the single lowest number of single-family home sales in over 2 decades, reflecting waning demand for shell-shock buyers amid a pressing lack of inventory. Here we come. Here's the news. The Building Industry and Land Development Association shows just 97 single-family homes sold during a month. 90. I've never seen anything like that. 97 homes. I'm just kind of blown away by that. So shocking number of homes that are selling. All right, let's go to this last article that I had pulled up on fortune.com. 183 housing markets could soon see home prices falling by 20% according to Moody's. This isn't just a nobody. This is Moody's. And if you go to the article on fortune.com, called The Housing Market Falling Home Prices of 2023. It has a map on it, and you'll be able to see all of these areas down, littered across the U.S., actually, but especially in Florida and Arizona and Nevada, massively overpriced areas. So if you look at those areas and you are in those areas, you should be thinking of taking some profits off the table. Moody's goes on to mention that the U.S. housing market has entered into a housing correction, though this summer the housing activity would plummet. Okay, so let's keep going. Oh, Boise, Idaho. My goodness, Boise has been crazy. Here is the hypocrisy, I think, of the article. The baseline forecast assumes the U.S. will not enter into a recession. What a joke. You guys still can't even agree that we're in a recession? 50% of the companies want to lay off people. The stock market is in tatters. Crypto is down. Home prices across Toronto are down massively. We're not in a recession yet. Come on, guys. Come on. Quit fooling with me. All right. So Moody's analytics are not alone. There's a glowing chorus of research firms that are forecasting home prices. And there's an entire list of them that are claiming, right, that we're going to be going down. Okay. If they also have a chart showing where all of the home prices are. And of course, the prices on the chart, every single city that's out there went all together up in 2006, before the 2007 recession. It all dropped down and now it's all right back up even higher. So we know that the prices are extremely high. So there's a whole list of people who are saying that the economy is going to drop. But then I find it funny that there's a whole list of people, included Mortgage Bankers Association. Okay, they lend mortgages. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they lend mortgages. Zillow, which wants you to buy all the time, all predict a low single-digit rise in inflation. Okay. All right, take a second here. So you're telling me that all the research firms say that there's going to be a massive crash, right? But anybody who's interested in selling you a home or a mortgage is all saying, don't worry, now is the best time to buy. This is why I hate realtors, man. All right, guys, you have to do your own due diligence and figure it out for yourself, right? I'm probably the only realtor out there who's going to tell you, don't buy now. It's not worth it. Wait until next year to buy anything. I would be renting. And if you are in the category of homes that are in the highest risk homes that are out there, by high risk, I mean the homes that are the largest in like big ones. Okay. Those are the ones that are going to get hurt. In Toronto, 4 bedrooms homes, they're getting slaughtered, right? And the homes that are multi-millions are getting slaughtered. But the entry-level units are all doing okay. So if you are in a high-risk type of property, I would be selling it. The only time I would be keeping a large property is, let's say that there was an oceanfront or there was a lake that was very, very popular. There's only a couple waterfront properties and tons of homes around it. Well, I want the waterfront ones, the trophy assets. That's what you want to keep. So you just got to be able to read through all this stuff, right, guys? All right. So the properties that I'm telling you that I think that you should be careful of. You got to be careful of those large homes. Small homes will do better. Every situation is different, right? But if you have a massive home, we've seen homes in Toronto, 3 million down to 1.5. Very common. So those homes are getting hurt, but those smaller condos under 500,000, they're doing awesome. So it really depends on the area, right? You got to be in the area that everyone wants to be, that's close to good transit. Those are good in the lower price categories. So if you got too big, now is the time where you can get hurt. If you are in a small unit that doesn't go down, you're protecting your wealth during a recession, then you can actually move and up buy a big detached when it drops in price a lot. That's what I would be doing. But anyway, things are always changing on a day-to-day basis. Everybody is bananas out there. I know that everyone always says that the government doesn't know what they're doing, but the government knows exactly what they're doing, man. These guys are smart. They got hundreds, sometimes thousands of economists that work for them. So this is not like they don't know what they're doing. Of course they know what they're doing. This is all like designed. So we just have to learn how to play their game, right? Because we don't make the rules. So just be defensive right now and wait and see. It looks like Q2 next year, but we'll see. Let's wait until see how the bullwhip takes effect at the end of the year. I did a video on the bullwhip. You can go look at that on YouTube. Also, we have a critical September and October to find out about the growing season. When we find out these things, how the oil is going to play out in liquefied natural gas over in Europe for the winter, we're going to see a lot of shakiness, but hopefully we'll come out better on the other side. But anyone who follows me, hopefully you are going to be prepared, not scared about what's happening. I've been waiting for this for over 10 years. I can't wait to buy homes at a massive discount. And you can do this same thing too. This is why I want to get the message out there as much as I can. If you know one person that this could help, would you mind just sending it to them? I would really appreciate it. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps us out, helps out with the algorithm. Really appreciate it. Stay safe. We love you guys.